Hi everyone, and welcome to the next Mew Mew blog theme, and the final part of this mini-series. We went through good localized dubs, uncut dubs, the English dub, and dubs that came from that. Now we look into the dubs that came from both the Japanese and English version. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, there were some dubs that came from Mew Mew Power, but ended up being popular enough for the dubbers to get rights to the second half of the series from the Japanese creators. I'm sure some of you guys are wondering if it was hard for these companies to dub the show with two halves being totally different from each other. Well, let's take a look and find out. First, we'll start with the Serbian dub, which was dubbed by Studio Happy, and given the title Družina Mew Mew, or Team Mew Mew. The terms will take a while to talk about, so let's talk about the main changes this dub did. First of all, they changed the ages of the girls. Due to Ichigo's intro being dubbed, the Serbian dub kept her original Japanese age of 13. Karina and Bridget are both 14, Kiki is 11, and Renee stays 17. And instead of just Mew Mews, the girls are now called Mew Kittens. All of the names stay the same as the English dub, with a few weird exceptions in the second half of the series. And with that, we'll go into terms. The reason why I said this would take a while is because due to them being a little too faithful when dubbing the first half from the English dub and then the second half from the Japanese version, the terms they used are a little inconsistent. For example, with the names, Zakuro is Renee Roberts in the first half of the series, but is called Renee Fujiwara in the second half. Kiki's younger sister keeps her English name Heidi, but is called Heicha in the second half. The same goes with weapon and attack names, which stay inconsistent throughout the series. Zoe's weapon stays the same, and the attacks were consistent at first with Strawberry Bell or Rose Bell Show Your Power. But in the second half, it goes back to Strawberry Bell, even though it's the upgraded Rose Bell. What's even weirder is that there were a lot of times when she just said Power Pendant Attack, as if her pendant was a weapon too. The same applied to the other girls, to the point that the only one who was somewhat consistent was Renee's attack, but that's only because it's the same name as her weapon. There were other inconsistencies as well. The term Blue Aqua was translated as Blue Water in the first half, but then was called Mew Aqua in the second half. The transformation phrase went from Power Pendant Activate or Mutamorphosis to Mew Insert Name Mutamorphosis. The Mew rap was translated as Mew Mew Style, Mew Mew Magic, Mew Mew Kitten Makes Trouble.
Meow meow stil, meow meow čar, meow meow maca pravi dar mar.
But was changed to We're Here to Protect You, Meow in the second half.
Tu smo da vas zaštitimo.
And the name Cineclons was changed back to Aliens in the second half. Another inconsistent thing is the mixing. One weird example being what happened to the aliens. They talked normally in the first half, but then in the second half they decided to put in a weird vocal effect in their lines.
Izgleda da su ti rane zarasle, ali još uvijek nisi u formi da bi mogao da se boriš. Glupa povreda. Imat ćemo puno posla, zato se bolje odmori da bi ti bilo bolje.
There were only 4 voice actors in this dub. Zoe and Drin shared a voice actress, Bridget and Renee shared a voice actress, Karina, Kiki, and Sardon share a voice actress. Yes, Sardon, the most masculine in stature in the show, is voiced by a woman.
Ta osoba je beznačajna, Dren. Moramo da se držimo onoga što je odredilo veliko plavet.
Zašto njega slušamo? Nikad ga čak ni videli nismo.
Sad je dosta! Veliko plavetnilo je naš vođen i želim da ga dovodiš u pivo.
And all of the male characters that sound like men are voiced by one guy. That means that until Deep Blue's final form shows up, the only alien character that sounds like a guy is Tarb, one of the youngest characters. The minor and one-off characters are split between these 4. Despite that, the voice actors obviously tried their best, but it unfortunately couldn't make up for the poor mixing job the dubbers did to the show, including really bad lip syncing. There were some lines that were even more than a couple of seconds out of sync.
Korina! Dođi sebi, mjav Zoji! Znam da te boli, ali koliko ćeš još da ignorišeš realnost? Ti nikada ne praviš gluposti! Uvek daješ sve od sebe i svesna si svega što se dešava! Kako možeš to da nam radiš?
Tako je, uvek me bodriš.
Ne možemo biti uspešni ako se ti tako ponašaš!
Društvo.
Ustani, Zoji! Ukoliko nešto ne preduzmemo, svi na našoj planeti mogu umreti.
All the songs in the first half of the series stay in English, while the second half keeps the opening song in Japanese, which I'm sure confused some of the younger viewers. This dub seems to have mixed reactions, with some liking it, some having a strong nostalgia for it, and the rest wanting a redub, preferably from Studio Loudworks. Despite the huge problems this dub had, I was still entertained when watching it. I'd rank this one higher than the Thai dub at least. If you want to watch it, you can find all of the episodes online. All 52 episodes were dubbed and were aired on Happy TV in Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. It later aired in reruns on channel MHC. However, only the first 21 episodes from the first half, minus episode 7 for some undisclosed reason, were released on 4 DVDs. Episodes 27 through 29 were also released on DVD under the name Mew Mew Tokyo. Next, we take a short stop at Croatia, where the Croatian dub aired on CTV and Jabuka TV. The main reason why it'll be short is because I only managed to get one small clip of it from the CTV website, so there's not much I can say about it. So I'm gonna kinda lump it in with the Serbian dub since they have a lot in common. First of all, the title is nearly identical, with the name Mew Mew Druzina, although TV listings are somewhat inconsistent with the show's title. And the weapon, attack names, and transformation phrases were the same as the Serbian dub. I can't really judge the voices since I only heard 6 in that small clip, and most of them only had one line. Although with this small clip, I can figure out a few things. For starters, despite being able to barely hear the original voices sometimes, the lip syncing is a lot better than the Serbian dub, and there were no weird voice filters given to the aliens. This is also the other dub that started from Mew Mew Power, where Tarp was voiced by a woman. But yeah, I would say to go check it out, but there's currently no way to watch these episodes. All 52 were dubbed, but there was no home video release. Now we visit Portugal, where their dubbing process with the show is amongst the most unique. Unlike the others in this video, where they just continue the series by just dubbing the original for the second half and trying to keep to the Mew Mew Power terms, this country did the first and second half in 2 completely separate dubs. The first half was called Mew Mew Power, and the characters had their English dub names, weapons, and attacks for the most part. There were a few minor changes. Like with the Greek dub, this dub misheard Zoe's weapon name as Strawberry Belt, and Bridget's attack name was changed to Deep Sea Attack. Zoe's Mew rap was changed a bit, translated as Mew Mew Style, Mew Mew Charm, Mew Mew Power against you.
Stil Mew Mew, char Mew Mew, poder Mew Mew, contra ti.
Strangely, despite them changing it, it doesn't rhyme. Most of the voices are pretty good. The girls sound a bit deeper than the English dub, but their acting was good, with the exception of one, which I'll get into when we go over the second half. The ones who suffer the most are the aliens. They all sound, for lack of a better word, weird. Their voices are all scratchy and rough sounding. It's like they try to make them sound goblin-ish.
Claro, como uma raposa e uma gatinha a lutar. Eu vou gostar bastante de ver isto. Pronto.
Alerta preventivo! Zoe!
Oh, que pena que as tuas amiguinhas mutantes não estejam aqui agora para te salvar. Ora bem, o que é que vamos fazer? Até logo!
Já estás a passar das marcas, não achas?
O que queres dizer com o passar das marcas? Qual é o teu problema?
Esta bolinha de pelo cor-de-rosa poderia ser-nos muito útil.
Mini Mew's voice is absolutely adorable. Whoever listens to it and doesn't have an urge to just squeeze him have no soul. All the songs were kept in English, and not much else was changed from the English version. All 26 episodes aired on Channel Panda, but only the first 3 episodes were released on DVD. As I said, the second half of the series was a completely different dub. It's called Tokyo Mew Mew, and the girls have their original names with a twist similar to the Chinese dubs. They keep their Japanese last names, but their first names are all translated into Portuguese. So now we have Morango, Minta, Alface, Pudim, and Roma. All the male characters have their Italian dub names, further proof that these names were given to Western dubbers. Their weapons and attacks are closer to the original Japanese, but the attack names are missing the food words, with the exception of Roma. So Morango has the Strawberry Bell, and her attack is called Ribbon Surprise. I'm not sure about Minta's weapon. In one episode, she just says, mint when summoning it, which is kind of weird. And her attack is called Ribbon Echo. Alface's weapon goes the Brazilian Portuguese route, only being called castanets, and her attack is called Ribbon Castanets. Well, that's kind of redundant. Pudding's is the pudding ring with the attack Ribbon Inferno. Roma's weapon is called Pomegranate Whip, and her attack is called Pomegranate Ribbon. Also, the catchphrase is translated as, "Today, as on other days, we will serve and protect."
Hoje, como nos outros dias, quero servir e proteger.
The voices in terms of sound are an improvement over the Mew Mew Power dub, that the acting somewhat suffers. In the end, after the name and voice changes, the only character who keeps his name and voice actor throughout both the first and second half is Mark. And even then, it's not the same type of voice. He was more calm and subdued in the first half.
Sei porque foi aqui que o meu bisavô se declarou à minha bisavó. Eram os dois imigrantes nesta cidade e sempre disseram que ela os fazia lembrar a sua juventude no campo. Sonharam que a família ia crescer aqui, tal como esta árvore.
But in the second half, he sounds like he's yelling all the time.
É difícil chamar a atenção das pessoas. É muito difícil. Mais difícil do que possas pensar. Durante algum tempo estava tudo bem, mas depois as pessoas perdem a vontade de o fazer. Quando há outras pessoas que o fazem, tu própria tens tendência para deixar de fazer. E assim ficamos todos mal.
This is most likely because his actor also got the role of Ryan in the second half and decided to use the deeper voice for him. Although the worst in my opinion is Roma's actress Sonia Neves, who also did Bridget in the first half of the series. I don't know if it's just me, but I have never heard such an unenthused sounding voice in my life. At least in a professional dub anyways. I mean, listen to her as Bridget when something seriously bad is happening.
Oh não! Estás com ele?
Now listen to her as Roma when Quiche hurts Momoka.
Momoka! Metamorfose Mew Roma!
I don't know if it's her or her voice director, but she needs to put a little more passion into it. Tart's voice is done by a woman in this dub, but it sounds a little too girly, but at least it's much better than the first half. And Minta's voice is way too cute sounding. Cute is good and all, but it doesn't match Minto's upper class personality. Also, the quality of the mixing is a bit inferior to the Mew Mew Power version. There were times when you could tell that they tried to make it fit the lip flaps, but it didn't quite work.
O quê?
Isto é evento de caridade. Que tal se deres uma ajudinha?
Eu só estou aqui a ajudar. Afinal de contas, estou aqui sentada a tentar vender uma coisa. Olha já agora, o que achas deste objeto que trouxe para vender?
Although it's nowhere near as bad as the Serbian dub. Another strange thing is that this dub started at episode 26, which means that there are 2 Portugal dubs of this episode. They probably wanted to start with this episode so viewers would know what happened before 27, which was a direct continuation of that one. Although that raises the question, if they were allowed to dub 26, which was in the first half, why couldn't they just redub the whole thing from the beginning? Anyways, the songs were kept in Japanese in this version. This dub is pretty decent overall despite the whole weird relationship with the first half. Episodes 26 through 52 were dubbed and aired on the SIC channel, but there was no home video release, although episodes 26 through 37 can be found online. Next we'll go to Israel, where the Hebrew dub aired on the Kids channel. The first half was dubbed during 2005 through 2006. There aren't any full episodes available online to watch, so I can't fairly give my opinion on the first half. This dub, despite getting their materials of the first half from 4Kids, decided to not only give the main characters their original Japanese names, but to also give the show its original title back. So this is called Tokyo Mew Mew. This also applies to terms as well, including calling the Cineclons aliens, the Blue Aquas Mew Aqua again, and the Predicides are called Chimeras. There was a small downside to this though. Since they only had the English dub materials, they had to get their information from stuff online or what the fans provided, which caused some mispronunciations in some names. Rio, for example, is pronounced as Ryo, which was a common misconception from a lot of fans when the show first aired. Heck, to this day I still get the occasional comment on my video saying, "It's not Rio, it's Ryo, you know, like rye bread." My replies are basically, no. Do you guys not listen to the characters when they speak his name? They say his name a lot in episode 6 and there is no rye in sight. And now for the ultimate proof that Western dubs are provided with the Italian names. Rio's cat form Alto was mistranslated or renamed, either as possible, as Art in the Italian dub. Well, guess what? This dub, along with the Serbian, Croatian, and Portugal dubs, use this name as well. Anyways, back to the main stuff. All of the English dub songs were dubbed into Hebrew, and pretty well I might add. Their version of Don't Wake Me Up, renamed I Want You, is the best dub of the song in my opinion. The weapon and attack names are kind of strange, and by that I mean most of the time the weapon names are the same as the attack names, or there are times that the attack names are only slightly different. Ichigo, like Zoe in the Mew Mew Power dubs, has the Strawberry Bell with the attack name Strawberry Bell Full Power. Pudding's weapon is called Pudding Ring, and when she uses it, it's called Pudding Ring Attack. Minto's weapon and attack is Heart Arrow, and Zakuro's weapon and attack is Wolf Spear. Redisu's weapon has the English dub name Combat Castanets, which is also the attack name most of the time, but there are moments when she has to shout something extra, such as her saying Rapid Onslaught in episode 34. This might have also applied in the first half, but since I don't have any of those episodes, I can't confirm it. In the first season, the transformation phrases were Power Pendant Mew Morphose and Power Pendant Activation. In Season 2, it was Mew Mew Insert Name Mew Morphose. The Mew rap seems to be a combination between the English version and the original Japanese, with it translating as Mew Mew here, Mew Mew with you, we will fight for the earth.
מיו מיו כאן, מיו מיו איתכם על כדור הארץ להילחם.
The second half of the series was dubbed about a year later in 2007. Due to the huge gap between these halves, some of the voice actors had to be replaced for various reasons. One case in particular was very tragic, which I won't get into detail since these are supposed to be happy videos. If you're curious, you can find out on myanimelist.net. As for the voice cast in the second half, they are pretty well casted, with quite a few being in their teens to early 20s when they voiced them. There were some fans that mentioned that the voice direction sounded a bit off in the second half due to them playing off the Japanese acting for reference, which was quite different from the English acting in the first half, but I personally think it was fine given with what they had to work with. All of the voices matched pretty well in my opinion. Tart is voiced by a guy like his Mew Mew Power counterpart, but they had a teen play him, so his voice doesn't sound as jarring as other dubs who had full-grown men trying to imitate a kid. I actually kind of like it.
בגלל זה אני עושה את זה אולי? שיו, את כזאת ילדה קטנה.
לא נכון, תראה, אני אפילו קצת יותר גבוהה ממך.
כבר! בכל אופן, זה מה שיקרה אם נמשיך לחפור את הבור הזה. נו, מה דעתך? מפחיד מאוד, מה?
אני לא אתן לך לעשות דבר כזה.
אם את באמת חושבת שאת יכולה, נראה אותך עוצרת אותה.
They keep the opening song from the first half throughout the whole series, and the songs from the second half are given the international dubbing instrumental treatment. Overall, it's a pretty solid dub, despite the obstacles it had to go through. All 52 episodes were dubbed, but there was no home video release. Some episodes from the second half can be found online, but finding anything from the first half is near impossible at the making of this blog. And now we come to our last stop on our tour at France. Geez, we just zigzagged all over Europe in this video, did we? Anyway, we're here to talk about what is, in my opinion, the best dub to ever come from Mew Mew Power. Although a French dub, it was actually dubbed in Belgium. Not only does this dub have great voices and acting, but it's also the most consistent of the dubs in this video, although that doesn't mean there weren't any inconsistencies. One of them was Deep Blue, who was renamed Lord Blue for the majority of the series. However, due to various reasons, I'm not sure whether it be confusion or they figured it out but decided to change their mind, but they called him Blue Knight in Season 1. Way to give that plot twist away, guys. The other is Zoe's attack name, which will now lump into the weapon and attack name changes. Zoe's weapon is called Bell of Light, with the attack Bell of Light Full Power. When it upgraded, it was changed to Wings of Hope. But then in the second season, it was switched back to Bell of Light. My best guess is that when they dubbed it, they associated Bell of Light to Strawberry and Wings of Hope to Rose. But since the original Japanese version still said Strawberry in the attack name, they probably assumed that it was the first one and used Bell of Light. Also, in order to be fair, I guess, each Mew Mew had 2 attack names. Karina's weapon is called Heart Bow, and her first attack is Full Power, although it isn't said out loud in Season 1. Her Season 2 attack name is called Silver Arrow. Bridget's weapon keeps the name Combat Castanets, and her attacks are Attack of Great Depths and Deep Wave Attack. Kiki's weapon stays Golden Tambourine, and her first attack literally translates as Tambourine Furrow, but since a furrow is a long, narrow trench, the original name Tambourine Trench was most likely what they were going for. Her second attack name is a bit more complicated. It's called Attack Pâte de Fruits. Pâte de Fruits is a homemade candy with the consistency and texture of gumdrops, but are more delicate and arguably a lot better tasting. So while the attack literally translates as fruit paste attack, calling it gumdrop attack would be the better English equivalent, especially since they use that name to translate the whole Goody Gumdrops scene from the English version. Estelle's is a bit more difficult. Most sources that I look up state that her weapon name is called Whip of Destiny, but I have no official confirmation on this. Her first attack is unnamed. Her second attack name is a bit more difficult to translate, with some people I know not completely agreeing on one in particular. The closest we've got is Sharp Whiplash. If any of you know of a better translation, put it in the comments. And now we go to names, and as you could tell with Renee, most of the names stay the same as the English dub, but there are some changes. Renee's name is changed slightly to Estelle Renee Roberts. Karina's name is also slightly changed to Karina Desjardins, with her full title being Karina Desjardins de Montclair. Mark also gets a last name. I mean, other than getting the last name of Aoyama like some of the other dubs in this video. There were other name changes to minor and one-off characters. Megan's name was changed to Charlotte. In Season 1, Monsieur Lapin was a French judge, but since this dub is French, they changed his name to Signor Vigliotti and changed his native language to Italian to keep the language barrier. In episode 20, Heidi's teacher Miss Rosby is renamed Miss Rose. The French dub also did something else that other dubs didn't. Most of these dubs kept the English names for the one-off characters, but then kept the Japanese names in the second half of the series. The French dubbers probably thought that seemed a little bit inconsistent, so they decided to have name changes for all of the one-off characters in the second season as well. Alto is renamed Alex, Asano is renamed Miss Digri, which is a common cat name in France. Mariko is called Virginie, which is the French form of Virginia. Shunsuke is Gregory. Kana Sayonji is Anais, which ironically means graceful and merciful. Ayano Uemura is Natasha, and Momoka is called Emily. But the one that takes the cake is Buling's fiancé Yue Bin Long. You think 4Kids was creative with some of their name changes? Well, this one's got them beat. Now prepare yourselves. You're either going to laugh or be stunned by the pure cheesy creativity they had when coming up with this name. They renamed Yue Bin Long to Jet Bruce Chan. That is the best name change ever! Everyone give them a hand! There were a couple of changes in terms. Zoe's Mew rap was changed to Mew Mew Style, Mew Mew Grace. Being a cat, I find that cute.
Le style Mew Mew, la grâce Mew Mew, être un chat, moi je trouve ça chou.
And since the others aren't cats, when she says it with Karina and Bridget, it's changed to Mew Mew Style, Mew Mew Grace. Being a Mew Mew, I find that cute.
Oui, le style Mew Mew, la grâce Mew Mew, être Mew Mew, moi je trouve ça chou.
When all five are together, they say Mew Mew to the rescue!
Les Mew Mew sont parmi vous!
The power pendant is changed to Power Stone, and the transformation phrase is Power Stone Metamorphose or Power Stone Activation. Also, despite the name changes they've made, they changed the setting of the show back to Tokyo, even giving the name Tokyo Tower back in episodes 25 and 26. I guess they knew that familiar-looking tower wasn't theirs. Also, the script was just better than the English dub. All of the rude, sarcastic behavior the characters give off in the English dub was toned way down in the French version. One example is in episode 6. In the English dub, Zoe gave off this really sarcastic vibe when talking to the others.
Your big day, huh?
Right. So glad you could make it.
They kinda made me come. But we'll be there right in the front row. Don't screw up.
Yeah. Awesome! I can't wait!
In the French dub, while she was still embarrassed, she had a more shy tone when she talked.
Alors ça y est, c'est le grand jour.
Oui, c'est sympa d'être venu.
Ils ont même réussi à me traîner jusqu'ici. Et en plus, on sera au premier rang. Ça te fait plaisir?
Oui, génial, je suis ravie.
And then there's lines they added to enhance scenes. In this example, Mark is running after Zoe. While running, he asks if he upset her.
Have I done something to upset you? Zoe!
And then there's the French version.
Est-ce que j'ai fait quelque chose de mal? Je t'en prie, parle-moi! Zoé!
You didn't do anything wrong, Mark! Please don't feel bad! The voices and acting are great and are a huge improvement to their English counterparts. Honorable mention goes to Kiki's voice actress. She sounded so adorable. Heck, she even made Kiki's monkey noises sound cute. Of course, the only one who suffers slightly is Tarb's voice. It's a little scratchy like most Mew Mew Power dubs, but I think his acting helps balance it out. At least it's better than the Danish and Hungarian versions. As for music, for the first season, only the opening song and both transformation songs were dubbed. Their dub of Supernatural, retitled It's in Our Nature, is my favorite version of the song due to its strong vocals and great mixing. As for the others, Zoe's theme was replaced with an instrumental version of Animal Instinct. Dance Another Day was made instrumental, Crush and Lucky Me was replaced with that instrumental, and Don't Wake Me Up was kept in English. As for Season 2, while it got the usual instrumental treatment for the insert songs, they actually decided to dub the original Japanese opening. That means that this is the only dub to have 2 opening songs, which I think is a huge step up from the original Japanese version. I don't know about you, but as much as I like My Sweetheart, it can get kind of repetitive hearing it for 52 episodes straight. But yeah, I consider this dub to be one of the best, and I highly recommend others to watch it. All 52 episodes were dubbed and aired on Teletoons. They could also be found online. The first 8 episodes were released on DVD, and episodes 27 through 52 were released in 2 DVD box sets. And with that, I'll end this blog thingy and this localization series. It was a long and winding road, but we made it. As for me, I have to get back on the road to find out about some more Mew Mew dubs that I don't own, and to work on some other Mew Mew projects. If anyone has the full Croatian episodes, or full episodes from the first half of the Hebrew dub, please contact me. I also want to subtitle the French dubbed episodes, so if there's anyone out there that's fluent in French who wants to translate, please let me know. And if any of you guys have any topics for a future Mew Mew blog thingy, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments below. And now, just to let you know, there will be another small break for the Mew Mew blog thingy. I have some Mew Mew videos that I've finished that I'll have posted in its place. Another reason for the break is that I'm preparing for the next all-day Mew Mew live stream, which will take place on August 8th. So come watch and study hard. There will be a trivia contest for a chance to win Mew Mew goodies. So see you guys later, and the blog thingy will return in October with an analysis on Ringo Akai.